Southampton versus Manchester United. Manchester United gets the 3-0 win. And if you looked at that scoreline, you would think that Manchester United played a really good match. So I wanted to give you guys my post-match reactions because I think it was actually quite different. I think Manchester United didn't play well at all, especially in that first half. I mean, Southampton looked miles better. Really good possession from Southampton. And I wanted to give you a stat that they brought up on the broadcast. 68% possession is the average for Southampton across their first few Premier League matches. And only Manchester City has actually completed more passes than Southampton across the entire Premier League. So a possession-based team, really good on the ball, really good technically. Unfortunately, they just don't have enough in the final third to create opportunities to score goals. And I thought this game could have been a little bit different. Going into halftime, it was 2-0, and I thought the scoreline should have looked completely the other way. Southampton gets a penalty, could have made it 1-0, and two players who I thought basically gave away the match for Southampton, but also are the reason why Erik ten Hag probably still has a job right now. Cam Archer, the first one, gets the penalty opportunity. You have to put that away. You're at home. Onana, in his first 7 penalties that he's faced in the Premier League, has not saved a single one. And obviously, this is the one that he ends up saving. 2 minutes later, Manchester United go down the other end. They put a ball in the box right after Southampton is trying to clear their lines. It falls to De Ligt, who scores. If you look at the replay, you'll see that Jack Stevens, the other player, who I felt pretty much ruined the game for this and for the fact that he got a red card later in the match. He is the only one not connected to the back line, and because of him, he's keeping all of the Manchester United players on sides. If he would have been connected to the line, they would have been offsides. That goal never happens. And I think Southampton get back to the possession and maybe they have another opportunity to score. So, disappointing from Southampton. From that side of things, I think looking at the future of the season, if they can manage to find a way to make it click, I think they could be a very good team. I think they could be very surprising, and I think they'll stay far away from the relegation zone. However, they just don't have enough in the final third. From Manchester United side, a few players who looked pretty disappointing, to be honest. Marcus Rashford looked terrible up until he scored that goal. Once he scored that goal, you could tell he was filled with confidence. He's starting to go at players. He's starting to be a little bit more creative. But before then, just looked out of it, didn't look interested, wasn't tracking back to help defensively, and just wasn't having a good game. Has a good finish, and all of a sudden, he has a pretty good rest of the match. Christian Eriksen, not the replacement for Casemiro. I think defensively, he just struggled, gave Southampton a lot of opportunities to get into the attacking third. I think Manuel Ugarte finally makes his debut, which is good. It means that he's getting closer to full fitness, which means he's going to be the natural replacement there so that he can play alongside Kobbie Mainoo. And I think that makes everything a little bit better for Manchester United, at least defensively, and breaking up the play from teams that are good in transition and teams that are good in possession. Zirkzee reminds me a lot of Darwin Núñez. And the reason why I say that is does a lot off the ball to create chances, to make runs, to give his team an opportunity to score. When it comes to that final touch, that final finish, he's struggling right now. Not as much confidence on the ball in front of goal as I would like from him, because he's gotten a lot of opportunities which he has failed to score. And I believe they said it on the broadcast as well. Before the first goal for Manchester United, they had missed every single one of their last 10 big opportunities to score a goal. And I think he plays a big part in that. So if he manages to find his finish and he can be clinical in front of goal, he could be a very, very good player for Manchester United. Besides them, the only other player I think on the pitch for both teams that stood out to me was Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale alone saved 2 or 3 big goals for Manchester United that I think against an average Premier League goalkeeper would have probably gone in. I thought he had a really fantastic game, especially in the first half, to just keep Southampton in the game. And neither of the two goals in the first half and the third goal towards the end, I don't think he could have done anything about those 3. I'm very excited as an Arsenal fan to see Aaron Ramsdale doing well, especially after he was benched for so long at Arsenal, and it ultimately ended up costing him his position or his ability to fight for the number 1 spot for England. So him getting playing time and him showing that he still has it, and he's still a very good goalkeeper. Feels like he hasn't really missed a beat. I think that's good to see for, Arsenal fans who really appreciated what he did, but also for Southampton, because that's going to be a big piece of them staying healthy this Premier League season and getting a lot of good results. So back to Manchester United, I think there was only bits and pieces of really good attacking and entertaining style football. I said this a few weeks ago in a video that I made about why Erik ten Hag should keep his job. I said that Manchester United are finally starting to play a little bit more entertaining, and they look good enough to be able to play some of those passing combinations that gets them into the attacking third. I really only saw it once or twice from them this entire match. Besides that, they look like the old Manchester United that we've essentially grown used to seeing. So that's disappointing for Manchester United. You're always going to take the result. Fantastic. 3-0, you get the 3 points. You're back on track. If you hate Erik ten Hag, and if you're a Manchester United supporter who's ten Hag out, I think you're disappointed at the performance for sure. And I don't think this changes the perception of Erik ten Hag. However, you'll be glad to get the points regardless. And obviously the big talking point is going to be Manuel Ugarte finally getting his debut. So those are my post-match thoughts. Let me know what you guys think.